We come back to our chapel service as I will continue to share the series of news. Remember last time we talked about the news in the New Testament. Well, as a matter of fact, that's what I did. And when I prepared that series a couple of years ago in my own church, and I said, well, in New Testament really gives us a new life, right? So that's a new covenant. So I start to search the word new in an adjective form. Then I searched the whole New Testament Bibles. I found out there are 7 new. 7, so I call it 7 news. No pun intended. So today we're going to continue on the second one. The second one is on the new command. I think these 2 passages are very familiar passages we all know. Let's read these 2 passages and then we delve in. The first passage is from John 13, 34 to 35. Let's read together because it's very short. Jesus said, "A new command I give you, love one another as I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this all men will know that you are my disciples if you love one another." Why is new? I thought in Old Testament, in Old Covenant, whenever you ask a rabbi, he will tell you, the first, of course, love your God with all your heart, all your mind, with all your soul, with all your strength. And then the second, love your neighbor as yourself, right? So why this one is new? Then I read another passage from the same author, John. And John says, let's read this 1 John chapter 2, verse 7 to 11. Let's read together. "Dear friends, I'm not writing you a new command, but an old one, which you have had since the beginning. This old command is the message you have heard. Yet I'm writing you a new command. Its truth is seen in him and you, because the darkness is passing and the new light is already shining. Anyone who claims to be in the light but hates his brother is still in the darkness, and whoever loves his brother lives in the light, and there's nothing in him to make him stumble. But whoever hates his brother is in darkness and walks around the darkness. He does not know where he is going, because the darkness has blinded him." So is that all new? Even John himself, he said, well, I'm not writing you a new command. So is that command new command or old command? I was puzzled. And then I start to study the background of this new command. That's what Jesus said. And Jesus actually commanded his disciples, I will give you a new command. Why it is a new command, although we have learned that in the New Testament, love your neighbor as yourself. Why? This one is a new command. Let's see. The background of this new command is when the time in the Last Supper. It was just about Passover time, and Jesus sat with his disciple, and nobody wanted to get up. And then Jesus got up. He said, okay, nobody wants to get up, then I will wash your feet. That's the whole background of what Jesus said, I give you a new command. He poured water in a basin and began to wash their disciples' feet, drying them with a towel that was wrapped around him. You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for this is what I am. But now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, and you also should wash one another's feet. And I have set you an example, and you should do as I have done for you. So that's the background. That's the background of Jesus said, I give you a new command. What does that mean? Yes, for centuries, Jewish people have read and have recited this command. Love your neighbor as yourself. But did they do it? So it is old command, yet a new command, isn't it? Even at that time when Jesus told his disciples, let's ponder upon what his disciple actually was thinking. How about disciple John? We know that disciple John, his nickname is his beloved disciple, isn't it? At the time when Jesus Christ, he was washing his disciples' feet, and John was right next to him, right at his bosom. So this beloved disciple, what is his love? Yes, probably I say, John is the only one younger than Jesus. Most of the other disciples are probably older than Jesus. And Jesus, when he came out and started to preach around, he was about 30, and John probably is much younger than him. And John is very loved by Jesus, and he is closest to Jesus. So when Jesus, in the Last Supper, he's the one actually sit right next to Jesus. I will show you how do they sit. Actually, they didn't have a chair like what we do nowadays. They actually recline one another. So when they recline down, and John is the one reclined right next to Jesus. So that's why he's at Jesus' bosom. So yes, indeed, he's the one beloved by Jesus. He's the one always tells us and teaches us how love is about. But what is a love at the time? Yes, he definitely has a warm feeling. He has a very affectionate about Jesus. Even when Jesus was crucified, remember, there was only one disciple was underneath that cross, who he is. John. John loves Jesus. It's a feeling. It's an affectionate feeling. He loves Jesus. But remember, when Jesus was about to be arrested, there was a young man threw away his shirt and ran away. And people said that's probably John himself. He was embarrassed to even mention that's himself. There was a young man. Then we think about some other disciples. What is their love? Simon Peter asked him, Lord, where are you going? Jesus replied, where I am going, you cannot follow me, but you will follow later. What Peter said? Peter said, oh Lord, why can't I follow you now? I will lay down my life for you. And Jesus replied, well, will you really lay down your life for me? I tell you the truth. Before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times. So did Peter love Jesus? Yes, indeed, he loved Jesus. But it's emotional. Very quick reaction. Right? So when Jesus was arrested, and Peter only watching from a distance. Then the servant girl asking, hey, I know you. I recognize you. You were with that man. He said, no, I don't know that person for 3 times. He even disowned Jesus for 3 times. So did Peter love Jesus? Yes, we cannot deny that. But what kind of love is that? Then we think about how about Thomas' love. And Jesus said, I go and prepare a place for you. I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. You know the way, the place where I am. Then Thomas said to him, Hey, Lord, we don't know where are you going. How can we know the way? Thomas, the doubting Thomas. What is Thomas' love? I call it it's insecure love. Unless he can touch, unless he can grasp, he feels very insecure. Whenever I go home, my little dog is a Chihuahua, only about 10 pounds. Always hang around me. Whenever I am away, he feels very insecure. One day, I found out he made a poo-poo. Yes, he did. He put on the floor. So I was so mad. So I tried to grab him and punish him. Then he tried to hide underneath my bed. I extend my hand and try to grab him. You know what is the next reaction here? I didn't let him bite me. So I know, oh, the dog is still wild. He feels very insecure. He wants to be with me. But whenever he infringes his own benefit, his nature, his wild nature came out. Thomas, he wants to touch Jesus. He wants to grasp Jesus. Does he love Jesus? Yes. But that kind of love is very insecure. Then how about another one, Philip? Philip said, Lord, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us. And Jesus answered, don't you know me, Philip? Even after I have been among you such a long time, anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. How can you say, show me the Father? So I call Philip's, this kind of love is called show me love. We have a state, Missouri. Show me state. Give me the evidence. Show me you will bless me, then I love you. Show me you will become the Messiah, you will become the King. I worship you. What kind of love we have to our Lord. So that's what Jesus teaches them. And then how about Judas? Did Judas love Jesus? Well, we can deny that. No, Judas never loved Jesus. If he didn't love Jesus, why did he want to follow Jesus in the beginning? Well, Judas, did he sell Jesus for 30 pieces of silver? Yes. Literally, on the surface, yes, probably so. But there's a lot of, you will have a lot of question. For $30, 30 pieces of silver, he probably has that in his bag. He's the one actually managing the money. So there's a lot of theory. One of the theory is that, well, Judas is power hungry. He really wants Jesus to be the king. So what is the way to push him to be the king? Oh, let Roman Empire, Roman soldier come to arrest him. Then he will show his true identity. He's the king, right? There's a lot of theory about that. So did Judas love Jesus? I would say yes, in a certain level, yes, even disciple Judas loves. but it's self-serving love. So what Jesus shows them how to love, he washed their feet. Actually, there were 7 steps of washing their feet. There will be another separate sermon, but I just list the 7 steps. Leaving his seat of comfort from heaven and on earth, taking off his robe of glory, wrap a towel around his waist, lower himself, kneeling down, pouring water to wash their feet, and drying their feet with the towel, and finally going to cross to die for all of them. So what kind of love we have? Jesus shows them, I give you a new command. It's not that command is new. It's the command they have not fulfilled. Command been given to them for 1,000 years. Even his own disciples did not know, did not fulfill. So, a new command I give you, love one another. The key word is the following phrase: as I have loved you. So when we ask ourselves, have we fulfilled this command? Then we have to ask ourselves, have we loved one another as Jesus has loved us? Otherwise, it will be always a new command in our heart and in our life. So Jesus said, a new command I give you, love one another as I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this all men will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. That's why when looked down, probably 30, 40 years later, when Apostle John wrote it down, he said, dear friends, well, the word agapetos, beloved, because he's beloved. He called all the beloved. I'm not writing you a new command, but old one. It is old one? Yes, it is old one. It is a new one? Yes, still a new one, right? Still a new one, which you have had since the beginning. It is old command, the message you have heard. It is old because it is command Jesus has given us. Jesus gave us for more than 2,000 years ago. It is new because if we still do not learn how to love like Jesus did, if we still did not learn how to leave our seat, if we haven't learned how to take up our robe of glory, if we haven't learned to kneel down to serve others, if we haven't learned to use the towel and instead of towel, sometimes we wear bibs, expect others to serve us, right? We haven't learned how to wash feet for another. And we haven't learned to die on the cross with Christ. It is new because it is a renewing reminder every day for us. It is a new command. Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you. And Jesus, through your Son, Jesus Christ, you have taught us a new command in the new covenant so that we can remind ourselves every day, have we loved you, love one another like Jesus did? We thank you for this reminder and for your words. We pray in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.